I'm Speight Jenkins, General Director of Seattle Opera, and I'm very happy to have with us today Arthur Woodley to discuss Rossini's Cenerentola. He will be Alidoro in the opera. Alidoro is it shows us how different Cenerentola is from what you might think if you know it's Cinderella, because there is no fairy godmother, and he does not really play the role of a fairy godfather.
That's
he is
right.
the godfather, but the difference with the Italian version and the American standard French version of Cinderella is that it's a very practical story. Everything happens, but it happens logically. And Alidoro is the guy who really pulls it off.
True.
Have you sung Alidoro before?
I have. I sang Alidoro many years ago, about 20 years ago, I think, or something of that sort. And you're absolutely right. He's termed a philosopher and a tutor of the prince. So it is quite different from the fairy godmother that we're really used to. In essence, he sets out to find the perfect mate for the prince, and does so, finding Cenerentola or Cinderella.
Through much of the opera, the valet, Dandini, who will be sung by Polegato, is dressed as the prince because the prince thinks that the girl that likes him will really like him, and if he just like the prince, he doesn't trust him. So the tenor, who is Rene Barbera, will be dressed as the valet most of the time.
A little change of costume, something to get us, whet our appetite, I would suppose we can say.
I think most people know The Barber of Seville, which of course is also by Rossini, but I think Cenerentola is quite different. It's a comedy, of course, and there are a lot of funny things in it, but it's a much more sensible story. It isn't just a comedy as a comedy, wouldn't you say?
I think so. I think that, it's that true fairy tale. At the end of the opera, what you see is, in essence, it's important to be beautiful. It's wonderful to be beautiful, but to have grace and to have virtue is much more important, and that is rewarded in the end.
Yeah, it really is, and it's wonderful in that sense. Our production team has done this production. Actually, it was done in Houston with enormous success. Mr. Font, who is the director, I think had a great deal of success there. With Giacomo Sagripanti, who is making his American debut here, has had great success with this opera in Italy. He has conducted other comedies too that have been successful. He's also done some serious work too, but it's very much he's done this in France and in Italy. I think it'll be the right kind of leadership for you.
Looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it.
And we have the one thing we haven't mentioned, our Cinderella. Daniela Pini has had great success with this in Europe. And she's not the only Cinderella. The other one is Tamara Mumford, who's one of the more promising younger American singers. She's sung all over the United States. I don't know whether she's sung in Europe or not, but she has sung in quite a few places. It's a marvelous voice. Patrick Carfisi was here as Ping in Turandot, and was very funny. And of course, now he has a much bigger role in playing the stepfather of Cinderella and the father of the other two, Magnifico.
Yeah.
And he's looking forward to that. So it's a lot of people in this cast. It's typical comedy, but it's I think it's very exciting.
Oh, I think it's absolutely going to be fun. I think when children come to see this show, and adults as well, when they come to see this show, I think they're going to have a fantastic time.
I think that older children really can get into it just because it's not really silly. Of course, there is one moment in it that's very famous. That is the ensemble at the end of the first act, where all of the people think they're going crazy, and they all make funny noises as they sing. I mean, that's one of the most amusing things in Italian opera.
A true Rossinian moment, we can say. He loves all of this mayhem to go on. It's fantastic. It's a timeless story.
It's a timeless story, and it's a very interesting read on it. And of course, the final number that Cenerentola sings is one of the most famous pieces in opera. Non più mesta.
Yeah.
So
a wonderful way to end an opera.
Yeah. It's a great show. Don't miss it.